what happens is when someone has an anti-establishment view, those anti-establishment views sometimes can be termed as conspiracy theories and conflated with actual irrational conspiracy theories. Now, the term conspiracy theory is an old term, but after the assassination of John F. Kennedy, the term was used regarding specific people who read into events and they weave a narrative around historical or current events, like we have the COVID-19 situation at the moment. Now, conspiracy theorists, the likes of David Icke, for instance, what they do is that they can give someone a barrage of quotes. If you read his works, I've read no less than 3 of his works, which each one over 500 pages. His method is a verbose method of giving citations and then giving a coherence for those citations, or attempting to make sense of those citations and weaving a picture for the reader. So what he refers to as joining the dots. But there is an inherent flaw in his methodology. That inherent flaw is that if a person is listening to David Icke or any one of these conspiracy theorists, the number of facts that are presented at one time cannot be verified by the listener at that specific time. So if you read a number of historical events or historical citations or documents or anything of that nature, everything cannot be verified at the time of listening, at the time of reading. It takes intense research to go back and check and verify everything. So what this style does, it overwhelms the mind, and a person, when the mind is overwhelmed and burdened with that information, the mind can snap and accept the information. This is a method employed by cult leaders and others. So the citations sometimes may be flawed and imprecise. An example of that, 2 examples I will give. One is where he refers to the Kaaba itself as a cube-shaped object that is black and therefore represents Saturn worship, meaning the worship of the planet Saturn. What is the imprecise point he has made here? The imprecise point is with regard to the Kaaba firstly being cube-shaped. Any Muslim who reads history, Islamic history, and any other history will know that the Kaaba in its original shape was rectangle. The Kaaba was a rectangle. If you look at the pictures of the Kaaba today, you will see a semicircled area which is referred to as the Hatim. The Hatim of the Kaaba is attached to the Kaaba. If you add the Hatim to the cube-shaped part of the Kaaba, this makes a rectangle shape. This rectangle shape is the original building of the Kaaba. When the Quraysh demolished the old building of Ibrahim alayhi salam, they did not have sufficient material to rebuild. Some say it was a lack of material to rebuild the Kaaba complete. Others say they left the space open so everyone, the common people, can go into the semicircled area and enter the vicinity of the Kaaba. So the Hatim was left open. So firstly, the Kaaba is not cube-shaped. The Kaaba is rectangle, because you include the Hatim. The second mistake he makes in this is saying that the Kaaba is black. Now, yes, the cloth that the Kaaba is covered with is black currently, but is it essential for the Kaaba to be black, meaning covered with a black cloth? The answer is no. This is a tradition of the Muslims that has been kept since the Abbasi Caliphate. So when the Abbasi Caliphs ruled, they employed a black kiswa. The cloth of the Kaaba is called Kiswatul Kaaba. They employed a black kiswa of the Kaaba for whatever reason. And ever since, the Muslims have kept this tradition, like the Green Dome. The Green Dome in Al-Madinah al-Munawwara was actually, prior to the Green Dome, the dome was blue in the Mamluk period. But the Ottomans, they constructed a green dome and kept that color green, and the tradition has been kept. So these are two imprecise facts he mentions, and then gives the reader the impression that Muslims are worshipping Saturn. Now, imagine someone didn't know this history regarding the Kaaba, and he's reading a book of David Icke, and he comes, a non-Muslim or even a Muslim who is not well informed, he reads that and he starts believing that Muslims worship Saturn. So this imprecise method of citation is a way to distract the mind, and this of course brings people to conspiracy theories which are totally imprecise and are wrong. A second example is where he mentions, for instance, Anunnaki. The Anunnaki, an alien or a reptilian group of beings that rule this planet prior to human beings. Now, some people may say this is in fact a reference to the jinn, but in the way David Icke cites Babylonian texts and the Sumerian tablets, yes, the Sumerian civilization did believe in reptilian beings, but the conclusions drawn from the mythology, a mythical belief of those ancient civilizations, the conclusions are flawed. So you may find in tablets, the Sumerian tablets, or in various Mesopotamian civilizations, or in Egypt, ancient Egypt, and all these various Middle Eastern cultures and pre-Islamic civilizations and temples, you may find references to beings that existed, but to draw the conclusion that those beings currently control the planet, and to also draw the conclusion that the moon is not real. So what surprises me regarding David Icke is that a person like him will deny the existence of Allah. He will deny the prophethood of the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Yet he believes and has written on the moon matrix, which is the belief that the moon that we have is an alien spaceship and is not real. But these same people will deny that the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam split the moon in two. So this flawed method of reaching a conclusion is what undermines real anti-establishment positions. So if Muslims adopt views which cannot be verified, or if we adopt positions which are inherently flawed, then those views and those inherently flawed positions will undermine real anti-establishment views. When we discuss the premise of Palestine